Color is my day-long obsession, joy, and torment. This was said by Monet, who was a great painter and worked with colors, but not only how colors worked together, but how colors made people feel. Color psychology was first looked at or studied in 1810 with the theory of colors. The author, Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, looked at how colors made people feel and how colors worked together. At the time, most of the scientific community felt like this was nonsense and they kind of disregarded the whole book. In the book, Goethe looks at red, blue, and yellow as the basis colors, which are the primary colors, and then slowly moves more around the color wheel. As these ideas developed, different people were able to look at color psychology and see what was right and wrong about what Goethe had said. And now a lot of different companies use color psychology to understand what colors mean to people and how they can use those in their logos to help companies get people to buy different things from them. And the different colors that they choose reflect that. When looking at a post made in The Atlantic, 19th Century Insight to Psychology of Color and Emotions, the author, Maria Popova, looks at the theory of colors and how Goethe relates them back to people. She says, the ideas derived by the poet's intuition, which are part entertaining accounts, bordering on superstition, the part premonition insights collaborating by hard science some 2 centuries later, and part purely delightful manifestations of the beauty of language. So she kind of breaks the book down into 3 parts and looks at the different things that Goethe looked at. He was originally a poet, so that kind of gives a different insight into what he thought colors were and how colors related to each other. So when looking at specific colors, there is red, and red in its natural setting is a fiery color, a bright, wild, untamed kind of color. But when you dull it out and put it more pigmented, it conveys something different, and Goethe explains it as it conveys an impression of gravity and dignity at the same time of grace and attractiveness. So it gives more of this higher being, higher light kind of feeling. Blue is a color that mixes light and dark, and it's always kind of bringing people to it. Goethe says its appearance then is a kind of contradiction between excitement and repose. But as we readily follow an agreeable object that flies from us, so we love to contemplate blue. Not because it advances us, but because it draws us after it. He later goes on to explain how this color is like at the top of mountains and it's in the sky and it's something that we're always trying to get to or trying to achieve. The next color is yellow, and yellow is a very light color. It's very gladdening, and it's kind of the utmost serene and noble color. It's very bright, but Goethe also goes on to say that when put with other colors, it gets dulled, and that's where we get this color that we don't necessarily like and we don't necessarily like to look at. But in its most pure state, it's this light and vibrant color. And then there's also green. Green is a mixture of yellow and blue, and Goethe says it's kind of considered to be the most fundamental of the simplest colors. It's just a color that makes you feel very calm and cool, and it draws people to it. People want to look at green, people want to be around green. So when taking these colors and looking at things that we know in our everyday lives, we can look at McDonald's and the colors that the company uses. So their main 2 colors are red and yellow. And when looking at red, red is a very vibrant color. It's a very passionate color, but it also shows this hierarchy to things, and so does yellow. And yellow is a color that makes people very happy, which is something that McDonald's strives for. They want people to feel happy, and they want people to come to where they are to be happy and to eat something that they like. But we can also look at this with another company like Starbucks. Starbucks, their main color is green, anything from their cups to their straws, and green is a very simple color. It's a calming color, and it draws people to it, which if you think about Starbucks, they want people coming back almost every day to drink their drinks or eat their pastries. So green makes sense for them to have it in their logo. So when looking at color psychology, there are hundreds of colors to look at. You know, the mixture of red and yellow makes orange, which is a completely different color, and purple, and the different colors that you can get by mixing certain primary colors. But when starting with the primary colors, you can kind of see why certain things are certain ways and just the different colors in everyday life. Like Monet did when he made his paintings, he was able to see how colors fit together and how they made people feel.